Today on Real Estate Test Dummies, we're going to be talking about Facebook real estate ads that are working right now in 2022. This is that was Ryan's obligatory mocking of me.
Well, the fingerprints are really what's grossing me out. My phone is nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But what won't be bad is the content that we'll be sharing and the examples of Facebook real estate ad campaigns that are working right now. So campaigns that you can rip off and duplicate. And if you need help with doing so, all you have to do is reach out. We have several options for that. You can email my guy, Mike@growwithjosh.com. Mike@growwithjosh.com. I think Ryan has a campaign that he's going to share. And then I've got I'm going to share a specific campaign, but it's more the style of campaign and the opportunity that you can leverage listings to create more potential clients for yourself. If this is your first time watching one of these sessions with Ryan and I, we will populate on the screen here at some point, somehow or another, how you can check out past sessions. We did a 2-week breakdown of Google pay-per-click ads. That's something that we're going to revisit, and I've got some cool stuff that I've been testing as well on the Google pay-per-click side of things. So you can look forward to that in the future. And we'll be diving into direct mail for client generation as well. In fact, I'll tease this. I now have this morning and this afternoon, 2 listing appointments from one just sold postcard sent to like 25 homeowners of a just sold. And I have a potential third one. I'm not super confident on that. But this morning is definitely going to list with me. The afternoon, I may already have a buyer for the one in the afternoon. And it was from a small investment.
You're such a tease. I'd rather talk about that, but we have another agenda.
But we will. But today we promised Facebook real estate ads that are working right here and now in 2022. So for all the agents and realtors watching this, you're gonna get a ton of value from this. So Ryan, I one of the reasons why I'm so excited to do these sessions is like I get a ton from them. I'm learning so much from what you're sharing. So selfishly, I probably get as much out of these so far as anybody else watching. So what is the campaign that you're going to share that everyone can run out and test for themselves?
Well, I have a handful up on the screen, the ones that are ticked active with the blue.
Yep.
So I can show a few. Josh, the first comment I'll make is that it's kind of lame and boring to say, but the same thing that's working now has been working for like 5 or more years with Facebook.
I could not agree more. Yeah.
I wish we had something whiz bang, but for whatever reason, the platform seems to like this structure of ad, not for want of trying from guys like me and you to like come up with new angles. But I always come back to some of what I'm going to show you now. And I do have a few experimentals that I'll show real quick. And Josh, I think today we're just going to show the ads. We're not going to go into the nitty gritty of how to create them or anything, right? We'll just kind of show what's working and
I think we just want to give some ideas because we can always, part of the bonus content that we will create is some guides and information. And there's always the opportunity for us to set these up for folks who are interested. Just email, if that's something you're interested in on any level, just email Mike@growwithjosh.com. Mike@growwithjosh.com. Yeah.
So you see the Waterfront one here. I'm going to show you this first because it has the most significant spend and sample size. You see there's $10,000 spent on that ad. And it generated 2,900 leads for $3.42. And we've mostly had this on for about 18 months now, similar to the Google campaigns I was showing. This was kind of our other bread and butter ad. So I'll show this right here. There's a couple of versions that I split tested, but arrived at this one. And I don't know what you're doing, Josh. We haven't really combined our heads on Facebook ads in a while, but and let me make this bigger for everybody. I know it's kind of small, right? Let's see that.
By the way, George and Mark, good to see you guys. Thanks for checking in the comments.
Yeah. So here's the ad, and this is more or less a template that I've followed for a long time. Pinellas County waterfront homes on lakes, the Gulf, and other waterways. I actually had to change this because we just said waterfront homes, and we'd get a lot of comments that says, "Hey, there are no homes in that price range on the beach because people assume I'm talking about the beach.
Right.
But we're just running a waterfront home search because there's other types of waterways in the area at price from the mid 200,000s to 17 million plus. And it's Facebook's built-in video creator, which I've gravitated toward using for a lot of my creatives. So
it's funny that you say that. I've seen you share that before. I haven't really tried that, and we definitely need to. Now, I have used video, but I haven't used like the simple video. Like I've tested me on video, 15 seconds or less making the pitch.
Yep.
But that can scare off some people, right? They think, oh, it's a salesperson, whatever. So this is interesting. Do you have any data that suggests that gets a better or lower cost per lead than a static image?
The only data I have is the few times that I've run multiple ads in an ad set, and this has performed better.
It's always performed better.
And not always, and this is cut, but it just also looks a little more polished brand wise. A lot of I'm doing this for like the broker. So when you're working, it just looks cleaner. And I have a theory myself that Facebook, because it's their own built-in tool, the algorithm might favor it.
Yeah.
So but you could easily do a static image of the house and put text over it that says Pinellas Waterfront Homes. You're probably not going to notice a huge difference in performance. I wouldn't get bogged down in that. The creation of
the
that
lesson here is you built this all in Facebook. Like that's a video that was Facebook created, and you're using a Facebook instant form. That's their new language now. It's a Facebook instant form. They used to call them lead ads or lead generation ads, lead forms, whatever. I don't know why they keep changing the name, but it's Facebook instant form right now. And the nice thing with that is you're keeping them on Facebook. So Facebook favors that. And their information for the lead, the prospect, is pre-populated in most cases anyway, with name, email, and phone number. So you can follow up with them on multiple modalities. And not only that, but because it's a lead ad, you can follow up and retarget people, or you can follow up with them and or retarget them through email, through text, through phone, and through ads. And not just ads with people that have opted in, but you can put ads back in front of people that engaged, people that watched the video, people that clicked the form but didn't opt in, right? So all of these, you're building multiple audience buckets from one campaign.
That's a good point about the video. Now I'm remembering one of the reasons I liked it is because you could do the views as a target,
right?
The watch of the video, and that retargeting objective where you can do a percentage people who've opened the lead form and not submitted. We did do that with this campaign for a while. It works really well.
I would change the creative slightly, right? Do something different with that, but 100%, I couldn't agree more. That has also worked very well.
So what I did with those was I just took a regular click back to the list instead of a lead form. So I just let them, instead of having to submit, we just took them to a KV Court Squeeze link where they could see the property list and then they have to register.
So they could actually see the properties because they already indicated some level of interest, but maybe they got spoofed because they weren't ready to share their contact information. And the thing is, with the way data works now, we already know you're interested, right? So I can put that back in front of you. That's really smart. I like that a lot.
I think in my own lazy way, I probably ran that. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I probably ran that at here it is right here. We got 2,000 landing page views. So it was actually, we ran it for a while.
What was the cost per landing page view, out of curiosity?
54 cents.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So for 2 quarters, right? You're getting interested parties to come back and look at properties on your website.
Yeah. And you see right here, lead form openers right here.
Yep.
And I took them back to the landing page. So I don't know why I turned it off. The retargeting itself, probably just because I saw the number go over 1,000 and I didn't have enough evidence directly. Yeah. It's like with retargeting, like, is this really doing anything? Well, they're coming back to the site, but it becomes a little harder to quantify what's going on. But
sure.
What I can tell you is that anytime I turn off retargeting for any business venture I'm involved with, I regret it.
100%. I would agree. Retargeting is one of the best. As long as you don't go crazy, it can be one of the best bangs for your buck. Which, by the way, I just want to throw something out there for those that are watching. If you don't have waterfront properties, We're going to give you other ideas that you can use to model this.
Yeah.
And if you do have waterfront properties and you're using KB Core, for example, all Ryan is doing is delivering any properties where it's under the list options. It's just he's choosing waterfront, which could be beachfront, lakefront, creekfront, whatever front, water of some kind.
Yeah, that's a really good point. This is, instead of saying it's a waterfront ad, this is a niched property ad. It's a property list that's segmented.
You're curating a list of properties and teasing that list, which could be pool homes. It could be homes with land. It could be recently price reduced homes. It could be new construction homes. It could be luxury homes. It could be luxury new construction homes. It could be only condos. It could be beachfront condos. It could be only townhomes. Like, you're only limited by your creativity and your market, right? I mean, the type of inventory that exists in your market. But if that's something that you struggle with and would love to chat or get some more, ideas around, you can email Mike, or you can even schedule a call with me, growwithjosh.com/chat. I'd be happy to strategize with you and help you identify what would be the lowest hanging fruit. Here's another great one. Like, this is really niched. Recently price reduced lots and land. Like, that's one that I generated leads in my market for like $1.
Yep.
And, depending on your market, who knows, that might make sense for you.
So basic template, what you see on the screen, say what the niche list is, Pinellas County Waterfront Homes. I like to put a price range in brackets, and then my subject line in Facebook is just Pinellas County Waterfront Homes or new construction, whatever it is, list. And I use the same thing and get similar results whenever I use it. Another niche.
One thing I want to highlight there, if you notice, it's a similar formula to Ryan's Google pay-per-click formula. If you haven't watched those, we'll pop those on the screen, or just go find the playlist on our channel. But the big thing there is the numbers. Numbers in marketing grab attention, right? So it gets people's attention and makes that it seem more relevant or realistic, and therefore is then more likely to get clicked, right? And the more unique the numbers, the better, right? So like, if you can use not round numbers, that's even better. From 329K to 1.73 million.
You just need to use 420 and 69 as often as possible, with pictures of Elon Musk and Dogecoin. There you go.
Yes. Moving on.
So Dunedin, this Dunedin campaign right here is kind of a funny counter to what I just showed, where the waterfront was very niched, and we paid $354 over time. $10,000 spent, 3,000 leads, paid $342. Now, I ran in a very little town locally in Dunedin, just a very generic ad that got $1.20 per lead for the first 54 leads. And all this was, it wasn't even niche, Josh. It was just, maybe the niche itself was just that it happened to be this small town.
Right.
That people like and know about. So just Dunedin, Florida condos for sale. See a complete current condos and homes for sale. See complete current list now. There's our numbers. So
I would make the case that you're right. That is the niche, because Dunedin is not a huge town, right? So and the fact that you had the specificity, like you're doing again with the priced from the X to Y, and I like that you put in there that the mid 100s, that's for condos, right? So people aren't expecting to buy a 4-bedroom 3-bath single family house for the mid 100s.
You know what I did here that I forgot, but I underdid it for once. This is a static image. You see what I did there? But it's kind of hidden. It's a gator. But maybe that's why the ad came in low, but I don't see any comments about the gator. I need to put like laser eyes from the gator, like staring at the Dunedin.
So that's a pattern interrupt, right? So what he did was, if you can't see the picture, it's a picture of Dunedin, right? Like in town, and you can see Dunedin in the image, and Ryan overlaid an alligator looking at the sign.
Yeah.
And did you make that with Canva or?
Yeah, it was probably Canva or just Google Draw, but I needed to, now that I'm looking at it in hindsight, I need to make the gator bigger and he needs to like shoot like Superman
And
lasers.
so the meta lesson here is pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
Pattern interrupt. You have to do, whether it's on Facebook or any advertising, we are in living in a world right now where there is constant attention, a battle for your attention, right? We are constantly being dinged and different things putting in front. So you've got to do things in this case to stop someone from scrolling their news feed long enough to make your case for why they should read the ad, which is the image, right? The image stops them to read the copy, and the copy's got to compel them to take the next step. In this case, click the learn more button to find out more information.
I'm going to run a variation of this ad, and I'm just going to make the alligator bigger and see if the leads get cheaper.
There you go.
I'll let you know. There's a test.
I like the laser eyes too, though. The laser eyes, like pointing right at Dunedin, right?
Yep.
That's really good.
That's one pretty similar. Just do it in a small town or a specific neighborhood. Now, the targeting for that gets a little tough on Facebook because with real estate, they don't like us to target in one area. But I just ran it to the whole county, and then everybody in the county who might be interested in that really desirable little town is clicking on the ad.
Here's a little hack that a lot of people still don't know about. So if you know, well, a couple of things about Facebook real estate ads. I think there have been changes in so much as the 15-mile radius requirement, the special ad category, and even with the updated iOS terms and things. And in every single one of those cases, the ad campaigns that I'm running, and I think, Ryan, you would agree, they continue to work or even work better if you just play within the rules and get better at your copy and doing things that, like pattern interrupts and things of that nature, that get the attention. But the point I was going to make is most people know about the 15-mile radius, but what a lot of people don't know is you can target an entire county as a workaround to the radius. So at step 2 at the ad set level, instead of a 15-mile radius around a city or a specific address, you can choose the entire county. So for example, I'm in Central PA, Cumberland County, Dauphin County, Perry County, and Northern York County. Send me your referrals, please, and thank you. But I can choose to run an ad campaign specifically to Cumberland County. Why is that relevant? Because then you can make your copy congruent to those people. So for example, on a seller offer, let's say, right, you could call out, hey, do you own a home in Cumberland County? If so, read this message or, watch this video, whatever. You can make things more congruent. And the more congruent your marketing is to the audience, the more compelling it becomes and the more likely they are to have an interest and to end up, in this case, opting in and becoming a lead or a prospect in your database.
Yep. So another one, just moving along, I'll show this open house carousel ad. This is like a missed opportunity for anybody who's got bigger inventory. I think we're all going to have bigger inventory in the years ahead. Or if you're operating at a team leader or an office level. I just tested setting up a carousel ad with a different picture for each listing, basically. And it was just for our open houses. And I only ran this for like a week or two, but 78 leads at $2.73 a piece. And the plan was, until I went away for the summer, was to every week, every Friday, just take any new open houses or any new listings and make a new card for them. So the thinking there would be that as the team leader or the brokerage with a lot of listings, you have this one ad that's performing really well and is gathering lots of data. And you keep and you don't have to create a whole new ad. You just swap in whatever property you want to get eyeballs on from week to week. So
two things there that I want to highlight. Number one, we will likely have a part 2 of this where we do a deeper dive into the follow-up. Like, what do we do after people submit their information? Because that, I think, it necessitates an entire session on that for sure. But one thing that he mentioned in there that is just the simplest thing is giving them more of what they asked for. So they opted in for open houses. just curate a list of open houses for them and send it to them every Friday. The initial example that he gave, waterfront properties. Well, number one, continue to send them an updated list every week. And number two, highlight one once a week. Choose one that has had a recent price reduction, or one that just got listed, or the most expensive waterfront listing right now, or the least expensive waterfront listing right now. Like, there are any number of simple things that you can do to follow up with people, pique their interest, and then have a conversation, because conversations lead to appointments. Appointments lead to clients and transaction opportunities.
Yeah, I was not allowed to turn this off for the longest time because there were so many conversations being generated. Actually, we have the raw data. It's 32% responded to the KV Core auto text, for better or worse, either a yes or no, a leave me alone or some kind of engagement.
So that's 32% response. Like, that's pretty incredible. Even if half of those are negative, that's still 15 to 16% of people responding and positively engaging. And
it's a few hundred people,
and show an example, an exact example of a client that we generated from a campaign that is running right now.
Yeah. So I'll get done with I only have one or two more. Let's see. That was kind of a listing. And then I'll just show you this last one, which is a little more experimental, that I want to let run more. I don't think the timing of the year was good on this, but it generated 25 landing page views at a whopping $16 a view, Josh. Whoa. But we spent a little bit of money, but we had a little engagement. And the reason why it might be worth pursuing a little more is that it was a direct 5 reasons why you should sell your house.
Interesting. Okay, so was the so you made like a video sales letter?
I made a video sales letter.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. And ran it in stream, and then the call to action was to just text for your report.
Okay, so the cost per landing page view was extremely high, but what I'd love, and I'm curious, and this will be maybe a part of part 2, because I know you got limited time today. I would love to see what the cost was to get someone to watch the majority of that video.
Oh, interesting. We need to do a follow-up on that.
Because then you could retarget the people that watched, say, 75% or more of that video. Because if someone watches even, let's say, 50% of that video, that is a very warm prospect.
Yeah, let's see.
That is someone that is at least somewhat, interested in considering selling, right? You wouldn't stick around and watch that if you didn't have some level of intent there. So what did that?
So I'd initially made this for a YouTube ad, but I wanted to try it on Facebook. It was kind of one of those tests. And so we got 64 people to watch 100% of the video.
What was the ad spend?
For $421.
So my math is terrible.
$8.
That's still
7. Yeah.
Because that's like having a 4-minute conversation with someone about selling their house.
Yeah, for 7 minutes. And then we did get texts in on this.
Minutes. Wow.
$7.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The video was about 4 minutes long. Did I see that right?
4 minutes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But and like you're saying, I didn't have my face on it. You have more presence in your market than I do. But if it was actually you talking to them and doing the read, and then in the beginning or at the end, you got on and you made a really clear call to action, I think this could work pretty well. And I didn't have any retargeting set up. I think the key takeaway here for everybody is that putting a straight video sales letter in Facebook Stream can work, but you need to, in order to make sure it ROIs, you need to also have retargeting set up. You need to do some other stuff.
Yeah, it has to be a more well thought out campaign. You can't just be one single thing.
But for $400, like a lot of people are like, oh my God, it's a big waste. You didn't get a listing on that. Well, I'm buying data. Now I know people are willing to watch the whole video. What can I do to get more of them to respond? We probably got a handful of texts. I have to get the number, but maybe it's costing us $50 to get somebody to text for a home value report. At that point, not too bad. Yeah.
And buying data is a concept we talked a lot about in part 2 of the Google pay-per-click videos that we had done over the last couple of weeks. And there is incredible value in that data that you can leverage to do retargeting, to optimize campaigns. There's just lots that you can do with that if you're strategic about it. Al asks, is Ryan a realtor? I'll let you handle the answer to that.
Since 1999.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, I want to share a campaign. So this is the campaigns that Ryan showed are more evergreen campaigns. This is an example of a style of campaign that I would recommend you all consider doing with every one of your listings, or you can leverage this idea for other listings if you have permission, right? Get permission from other people in your office. If you would like to get clients in a particular neighborhood or school district or whatever, this simple listing campaign, I'll show you what it looks like, and then I'll go over the results that we've gotten so far. But it could not be any simpler. Now, we actually used a service to build this out, and it's actually listings to leads, and you can get a free trial with them at growwithjosh.com/L2L, L the number 2L. It's growwithjosh.com/L2L. If you're watching this after the fact, after the live session, we'll get the link added to the description. You can build one of these without that. They just make it super easy. And I think listings to leads is one of the biggest bang for your buck in real estate. For what it costs, you get a ton of value from it. Anyway, that's how we built this. And when people, it's a lead form, just like what Ryan had showed before. And when people opt in, we've got it set up with Zapier that they automatically go into KV Core. And the follow-up campaign is extremely simple. It's an email, a text, and a ringless voicemail. The email delivers them all of the photos, the pricing, etc. The text message and the ringless voicemail essentially lets them know, thanks them for their interest and lets them know that they need to check their email for all the information. And if they have questions or want to schedule a private tour, to call or text or email us back. We have spent $100 so far. This is a lifetime budget campaign, but we've only spent 100 of the 200 so far. So let me find this here. So where does it show the actual spend? There we go. So we've spent 100. We've generated 40 leads, so $2.50 per lead. And we already have definitively one client from this campaign. Now, that client is not going to be ready to buy because of she's locked into a lease, but she is pre-qualified and ready to go. Does that guarantee that we're going to get a transaction? No, but to me, that is a massive win. We spent $100 and we have one client that's looking in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, which for me is, a slightly above the average price in my market. In some markets that's peanuts, let's say, but for me, in a rural area where our cost of living is relatively low, that's pretty significant. And this is a dead simple campaign.
And you have 39 others that could convert in the future.
Right. Well, and we've had other conversations. I don't know the exact numbers, but there have been other conversations with them. And I also have a list that when we get another listing like that, or when we find another listing like that, doesn't even have to be ours. That's a simple follow-up. Hey, you were interested in this property. I thought you might also be interested in this one. It just had a price reduction or just got listed, whatever the case may be. And that's the kind of stuff, by the way, that I cover every Tuesday on Texting Tuesday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern. I'll pop a little thing up here after the fact where you can check out, past sessions. But that's all about simple scripts and templates that you can use to re-engage and get into conversations with your database. But you've got to build a database, right? And so one of the things here, there are a couple of takeaways that I would hope that you leave here with. Number one is like the first example that Ryan gave, he has built a database of 3,000 contacts around a specific niche. There is so much value in that, right? So for example, that is an asset that he could go, let's say there's a new home builder building waterfront properties. he could go and say, hey, listen, we've got this database, and maybe you can negotiate some sort of special incentives, or maybe just by having the conversation, they entertain letting you be their featured real estate agent. Who knows? One of our students from way back, Ryan, you may or may not remember, but Justin up in Canada, he built a massive database using these exact principles, maybe not the exact strategies we showed, but the same principles. Built a huge database, and it ended up landing him like 8 builders where he was the exclusive listing agent with 8 builders. And it was because, the tripwire event, what gave him the opportunity or opened the door for him was the fact that he had a database of people that were interested in those type of properties, right? So you're demonstrating that you're different than every other realtor because you've got a large active buyer database in this case.
You're reminding me how much money we're leaving on the table with this list of 3,000 because we haven't done anything other than the initial follow-up and the automated KV Core kind of property alerts, but that's generated ROI. I'm now realizing that this weekend I could easily go walk through a waterfront property that's vacant and probably literally send an email to those 3,000 people and have a cash machine.
I will do you one better. Here's exactly how you can. You wouldn't even have to do that. If you did that, that would be great. If you literally just through KV Core send a text message about a property that just got listed, and you tick the box that puts the little preview of it. What will happen is you'll get a bunch of people that open and click on it, and then in the dashboard of KV Core, you have all of these people that returned to look because of that, and now you have an active list that you can manually follow up with if you choose, or you can use some of the behavioral automation, etc., to sift and sort out the ones that maybe now have finally hit a tipping point of motivation and are ready, willing, and able to have a conversation or to get serious about buying a property.
And that's kind of the harvesting, where the initial 5-figure $10,000 investment over 18 months is kind of just the sowing of the seeds or whatever you'd say. And it's just this business is awesome because at $3 a lead or whatever, the math works like crazy. And you just go into a platform like Facebook, you can run that ad in 10 minutes once you understand the mechanics. So
and there's an old proverb or cliche or whatever, like, when the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, the next best time is today, right? Yeah. So like, you can't go back and start building your database 3 years ago, but you can start today, right? You can start doing things like what we shared today, and building that database, because like you said, the more the database becomes seasoned, the more opportunity will start popping out the other end. The trick is, can you, without breaking rapport and without pushing a bunch of people away, can you find the low-hanging fruit? Because there is always going to be low-hanging fruit. Can you find that low-hanging fruit, which then can fund your ability to continue to grow that cash machine, your database over time? Josh, that's the kind of stuff that we're pretty good at.
Sorry to cut you off. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I have a hard stop. I'll let you keep going.
Absolutely. So Ryan's going to head out. I'm going to wrap it up and come in for a landing here. So here's the deal. Hopefully you found that helpful and useful. Those are great, some great tangible, like real world examples of what's working for us as far as Facebook ads for real estate. And if you'd like more information, or if you'd like help, or if you'd like to have a free strategy session, you can go to growwithjosh.com/chat. You can email mike@growwithjosh.com. We've got bonus resources and tutorials. If you'd like us to build out one of these campaigns for you, we can do that for you. Of course, there's a little bit of a cost to that, but we're happy to do it. And if you haven't checked out past sessions of these real estate test dummy training classes, we'll put a link here, or you can check out in the description with this. There is a link to the playlist of all of those. As always, I appreciate your time and spending some time with us today. If there's anything at all we can do for you, don't hesitate to ask. And we'll be back next week. Here's what we have for upcoming topics. Direct mail. We're going to continue to dive on direct mail. We need to do a Google pay-per-click part 3, because I'm testing some really cool stuff. and we'll do a part 2 for this as far as follow-up, best practices, and how you can maximize those conversions. Thanks so much. Take care and talk soon.